In this video, we will solve a question on returns to scale of a production function. The question is the production function of a firm producing mobile phones is given as Q is equal to K raised power 1 upon 3 plus L raised power 1 upon 3 whole raised power 3, where K and L are the units of capital and labor hours employed and Q denotes the total output. We need to find out whether this production function exhibits increasing returns to scale, decreasing returns to scale, or constant returns to scale. Okay, so first we write the given production function, which is Q, and here Q is a function of capital and labor, and let's rewrite it in this fashion: K L, which is equal to K to the power 1 upon 3 plus L to the power 1 upon 3 whole raised power cube. Okay, now to find out whether this exhibits increasing returns to scale, decreasing, or constant, what will we do? We will increase each factor input by some constant scalar. Okay, so let me write it here. Let K and L are increased by a factor lambda. Okay, what will happen when the inputs are increased by a factor? We need to see its impact on the output. Okay, how will this output respond? Okay, so we have new production function then Q. So K is increased by factor lambda, so we write here lambda K. We have lambda L. So here we have again, so in place of K, since K has been increased by a factor lambda, we write it here plus, and L is also being increased by a factor lambda by same factor. Okay, so we can rewrite this production function as lambda raised power 1 upon 3 plus K raised power into K raised power 1 upon 3. If I expand this, plus here also lambda raised power 1 upon 3 L raised power 1 upon 3. So we have here lambda raised power 1 upon 3, lambda raised power 1 upon 3. We can factor this out. So we can write lambda raised power 1 upon 3. Here we can write K to the power 1 upon 3 plus L to the power 1 upon 3. Okay, we can rewrite it in this fashion. Now again expanding, so let us write it in this fashion. So this will be here, this exponent, and similarly for this we have K to the power 1 upon 3 plus L to the power 1 upon 3 raised power 3. Okay, 3 and 3 will get cancelled, so we get here lambda raised power 1, and this is our given production function Q, which is a function of capital and labor. Here we can see, and let me write it here, when production function was, when each input was increased by a factor lambda, output has increased by a factor lambda raised power 1 KL. Okay, here you can see, so the production function, whether it exhibits increasing return to scale, decreasing, or constant return to scale, depends upon the exponent of this lambda. Since the exponent of this lambda is 1, we can say that this production function exhibits constant returns to scale. Okay, so there are two things. If the power of lambda, so lambda, let us say lambda raised power n. Okay, if n is equal to 1, we say the production function will exhibit constant return to scale. If n is less than 1, then the production function will exhibit decreasing returns to scale, and if the value of n is greater than 1, then the production function will exhibit increasing returns to scale. Okay, all depends upon the exponent of this lambda here. Okay, that means